Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your April 2018 mid-month general readings. Thank you for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers. Thank you always for your likes, shares, subscribes, and for taking the time to send in all your comments, support, and feedback and how the readings resonate for you. Also, a big thank you to all of my clients out there, both regular and new, for keeping me always so busy and joyfully occupied with those personal readings. If any of you are interested in a personal reading with me and you haven't read with me before, you can get the information and my contact details by either looking at the description bar attached to all of my videos or going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on the little About button. As most of you know, I do a wide variety of readings in love and romance, career, work, and finance, channeled messages from loved ones passed on, as well as 6 and 12-month overviews to take a look at what's coming in your life for the next 6 or 12 months, depending on how far ahead you want to look, as well as compatibility readings, chartings to look at compatibility readings for relationships and reconciliation as well. So feel free to email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com and be delighted to work with you. Turnaround times are usually pretty fast, as I do readings full-time 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do. So I can usually set up a personal reading with you, live or recorded, within a couple of weeks' time. Sometimes it's as soon as a few days, but almost always within a 2-week period of time we can set something up for you. So send me an email if you're interested. We'll go from there. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo for fast answers to those really quick questions you have. So moving right along, this reading is for the air sign of Libra for the remainder of April 2018. If you know your rising and your moon sign videos, watch those as well. Sometimes they play out a little more predictively for you, and they can just give additional insight and clarification. So watch those if you know them and if you can. All right, Libra, let's see what's in store for you for the remainder of April 2018. I am recording these between the 11th and the 13th. So Libra, we begin with Justice, followed by the 5 of Pentacles, the 2 of Cups, followed by the Knight of Wands, and from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and guidance is the Lovers. Oh, you have the Lovers and the 2 of Cups both, so strong indications of there being a lot of emotional energy and focus on a relationship. I think for a lot of you this is going to be a love and a romantic relationship, although it doesn't necessarily have to connote that, but with the Lovers and the 2 of Cups both, it's probably a soulmate, karmic connection relationship, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. It could be a very close kinetic best friend, soulmate as well. So it looks like there's a decision that needs to be made, which is your overall energy and guidance. Your crowning card from the bottom of the deck is the Major Arcana card of the Lovers, which represents a very connected, passionate relationship. Again, the nature of which doesn't necessarily mean romantic relationship, although with the 2 of Cups it probably is for a lot of you. But this is a very kinetic relationship, a very connected relationship as well, one that's primary and important. The Lovers also represents needing to make a decision and a choice, an important one that will affect the lives of the life of a primary relationship, or the people that are, and it could involve people around that primary relationship, particularly if it's a triangular situation as well. In the early tarot decks, this was not called the Lovers. It was called the Choice, and it showed a man standing in front of 2 women or a woman standing in front of 2 men. The implication being that a truly important and significant choice needed to be made about a relationship which is going to affect the lives of all involved. And it doesn't necessarily mean that whatever relationship issue you're going through that you're trying to make a major decision on involves 3 people. It could be the case for some of you. And I am getting kind of a mix of stories here. So that looks like the focus for the majority of you watching for the remainder of April. And if this doesn't resonate with you, then it might just be one of those times where your rising or your moon signs may play out a little more predictively for you, because these are general readings. There's many of you watching. They can be kind of tricky because general readings can resonate and will resonate in a variety of different ways, in different degrees and intensity, because there's so many of you watching, and everybody has such individual and unique lives. So but it will resonate for those whom it needs to. So relationship, important relationship decision. We have justice in the upright, clarified, and followed by the Five of Pentacles. So justice is blind. You've probably heard that saying, which means that the outcome of something is typically dependent entirely upon what is proven, what we know to be true, facts, reality, not what someone hoped something would be or intended to do, but what your actual choices and decisions were. Justice in the upright, also in the midst of a relationship situation, would indicate that at least one of you, if not both of you or all of you, want to know the decision is what is the right thing to do here, what is the moral, ethical thing to do here, because justice also comes with, the cautionary advice when justice comes up is always, operate with as much transparency and personal honor and integrity as possible, because the outcome and consequences playing out into the future is going to be dependent on that. So justice is clarified by the Five of Pentacles. Earth energy here, which is the element that governs Pentacles, often manifests in the practical areas of our life with practical things we can see and touch and feel. It is traditionally a card of insufficiency and lack, of something not being enough. In finances, it could be, being poor, being out of a job, not having enough money to pay all your bills, insufficiency and lack. In emotions and relationships, this can represent, again, fundamentally the energy is the same. Feeling, not good enough, feeling abandoned, rejected, left out in the cold, not attractive enough. Sometimes in relationships too, the Five of Pentacles can also represent missing out on something which is right in front of you because you're not taking a close enough look at it. Like for instance, in dating scenarios or situations where you may need to make a choice. This could represent, missing out on a really great relationship because you didn't give the person a second glance or take the time to get to know them. In finances, it would mean missing the answer, the solution, because you're not looking closely enough. You're only focused on what's right in front of you, or the negative of the situation, which this couple, who's usually in other tarot decks too, usually depicted as being outside of a church or cathedral with this beautiful golden light shining through the windows, which implies that the source of what they need, the answer, the solution, the help, the resources, or a person is right there. It's either right in front of them or in their environment, but for some reason they're focused on something else. They're only focused on the insufficiency or the negative aspects of a situation, perhaps of a relationship. So it can represent that the truth, what you need, is right in front of you, but you may not be looking closely enough for it because you're just too focused perhaps on the negative of a relationship. So this can play out a few different ways in this relationship energy scenario. Some of you, this may be a connected soulmate relationship which is going through a rocky time. Perhaps something has happened. Maybe there's been a big upset. Perhaps there's been cheating and infidelity, not for everybody, but perhaps for some of you. Or it could be something else which has either you or the other person or persons involved feeling like, kind of left out, shut out in the cold, not connected anymore, maybe feeling not good enough. And the question is, because there's this decision-making, choice-making energy, what to do, wanting to do the right thing. Some of you, I feel, may be involved in a triangular situation and the choice is about. But for those of you too, I think that there's some people out there who are in an established relationship, a well-established relationship, and you may have recently met someone, or maybe been, or it could be your partner too, met somebody else and you're considering, leaving or ending your primary established relationship for another person. But again, it looks like at least one person involved in this is really wanting to do the right thing and struggling with what the right thing is to do. If it's just you and the other person in a relationship, do you, you're maybe feeling like you're not connected, you're feeling shut out or left out in the cold or rejected in some way or not good enough, or perhaps your partner is, and how to fix this. What's the right thing to do about this? Is this something that can be fixed? If so, how? If not, should we end it? And if so, how? Some of you, it could be a triangular situation. You may be thinking of, or your partner may be thinking of leaving the established relationship because they may have met somebody new, or you may have met somebody new. And I mean, the soulmate, and there's clear soulmate energy here, but some of you, it might be that who you're with is your soulmate, and you may be considering, and it's just about that relationship. Some of you may be, I feel, are in an established relationship, and you've met somebody that you feel that soulmate connected relationship with, because the next set of cards is crowned by the Two of Cups, which is the traditional soulmate relationship. The soulmate card, it fundamentally just represents the coming together of two things, two people, two businesses, two entities, in a way that's beneficial, in that's connected in more than just the obvious ways. For a soulmate relationship, this would be more than just physical and chemical attraction. This is kind of a meeting of the mind, the heart, the soul, the spirit. Someone with whom, you know, after you've met them or known them for a short time, you feel like you've known them for a long time. It can also represent best friends that transition into something more romantic, and that could be part of the story for some of you as well. Some of you may be with your soulmate and going through difficulties. Some of you may be with your soulmate going through difficulties, and somebody else has become involved, or with an in an established relationship, you've met someone that you feel, oh my gosh, this is the one. So what to do? The Two of Cups is accompanied by the Knight of Wands. So here we have fire energy, which is the element which governs wands. Very fast-moving energy, very energetic, passionate, full of fire and desire and creativity and inspiration. Knights usually represent offers or opportunities and the speed at which situations move. And this knight, out of all four of the knights, is the fastest moving, the most impulsive and spontaneous, because he's governed by the element of fire. And knights anyway are known for, you know, charging off to complete their mission and quest. I feel this cautionary advice, Libra. I feel like the situation may have happened quite quickly, or you may be wanting to move quite quickly, or it's moving quite quickly. Because I feel like regardless of what side of the story you're on, or what the details and specifics are, because they're going to vary in a general reading, it feels like a sticky situation and potentially messy. I feel like for a lot of you, there may be another person involved here, either involved or potentially being involved, and you're kind of caught in the middle of what is the right thing to do here. Wanting to kind of charge off because you're full of all this passion and energy and this connectivity, but at the same time feeling a sense of maybe something that's challenging your personal integrity and maybe moral foundation. What's the right thing to do? Is there a way to move through this in a successful, healthy way? And if it's going to involve the ending of a relationship or turning away from someone, there's no great way to do that, and there's no totally happy outcome, but what could be the best and the most honorable way to do this? So that's kind of what I feel is going on for a lot of you for the last half of April. Again, the specifics will vary because it's a general reading. The nature of the relationships, or who or may or may not be involved, is going to vary. And for some of you, it could be a best friend situation. It could be a best friend that has evolved or is evolving or is trying to evolve into something else too. Maybe the other person is wanting to rush ahead or move very quickly, or maybe you are. But there's something else that complicates it in a personal integrity, morality kind of way. And so hence this, what do I do? This decision-making, choice-making energy. And the cautionary advice always in making significant life-changing decisions, particularly when they involve other people's lives, is to, try and do it with the most honor and integrity you can, taking everybody's feelings into consideration as well as your own. So, enough said there. So Libra, that pretty much wraps up your April 2018 mid-month general reading. I hope it has been helpful or useful, or at least perhaps validated what you were already thinking and feeling in a sense. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the May 2018 general readings. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal, tailored just for you, one-on-one reading, you can get the information and my contact details by looking at the description bar of all the videos I post, or going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on the About button. Feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you and set up a reading as quickly as possible. For quick answers to those really fast, simple questions, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy, and that's also with my contact details. So thank you for watching, Libra, and as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, wisdom, and clarity, and a happy, happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.